What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm just going to be doing a quick video today to kind of show some of you guys. I've had a few questions on how I do my shifting cable from the stock F100 steering shifter and column to the 4.6 and the transmission. So I'm just going to be showing you guys a real quick video on how I do that. Many different ways to do it, but this is how I do it. Pretty simple way, pretty easy, works real good. So let me grab the camera and turn it around. I'll show you guys what exactly I do to hook this up. All right, let me bring you in here and show you what we got going on. This is the steering shifting cable that goes to the transmission that's attached to your 4.6. And this here is our steering column sticking out from the F100. You can see up in there, let me see if I can get it, your little right here, the tab sticking out is where the shifter hooked up that went down to your old transmission, like maybe from your 302, your C4, C6 or whatever. Now let's go over here and show you what we got going on. This is the steering column. You're going to need this from your Crown Vic or whatever. The shaft that's coming down here has this little bracket that sticks. It was bolted in there and it has this little nipple. We're going to need that little nipple. This is what attached to this cable right there in that hole. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Okay, yeah, that nipple goes in like that and holds that in there. So we need this flat part right here. I'm going to cut it off. You can see where I've started cutting it, and I ground down a little bit because we're going to weld. And then, dang, I took my flashlight away. All right, and then we're going to bring it in here, and we're going to weld that flat part. You get what I'm saying, hopefully. Weld it to that nipple like that. Weld it to that bracket like that, flat. So that way it'll have that little nipple on it, and we can run our cable down and clip it on that, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, we got our little tab cut off and ground down so that we can weld. And you can kind of see what's going on. We're gonna take that, put it up in there. Dang, this glove's getting in my way. Sheesh, that's hot as hell. All right, can you see that in there? We're gonna mash it in like that and just weld it to that real good. And then that little hole, this has got like a little thing that's, see, sticks out. We'll just stick that right in that hole so we know it's kind of centered. And just like that, we'll get it welded in, and I'll show you guys the next step. Okay, see, I got it clamped in there. Got some vice grips holding it on. Got my ground clamp on. Let's throw a couple tack welds in there. Okay, y'all see what we got going on? That's welded in place. So now, when this thing loops around, let me see if I can kind of, oh crap, let me weld it, get it. Okay, so now, see when that comes around, that'll clip into it? Yep, just like that. Now I know you wonder why we don't just come from the transmission to the bottom and have it just pull down like that. It's because the shifter in it's like a push-pull deal. This transmission on the 4.6 is like a push, and the other one's like a pull, so we got to loop it around to come from the top. So when you shift up and down, it does like it's supposed to. So now, let's see, next step, we're going to need to come back over to this steering column, and we need this bracket off now. So take off these bolts and get this off, because see this little thing right here, this is where this clips to, this little thing. So we're going to need that bracket. Let's go over there and get it off, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. All right, now that we got this piece off, we're going to need this little, we're going to need the end that's got that on there. So I just flip it around, and we're going to cut it right here at this 90 so that we just have just this piece right here. All right, we're going to backtrack just a little here and show you guys where I messed up. That way maybe you won't mess up if you haven't done it already. But it seemed like, and it would have worked with that nipple to the outside here, but it just, I didn't like the angle that it was pulling that cable. So I had to cut that little tab off, flip it around, and put that nipple to the inside. So if you guys haven't done it yet, just when you take your little plate, put it to the inside, weld it to the inside the first time. We got it in there. Don't look as clean and beautiful as it did before, but we'll throw some black paint on it. Nobody will ever see it from up here. See, can't even tell it's there. But yeah, that nipple's on the inside there now. We're letting that cool down. I'm gonna hit it with some black paint and then we'll carry on from there. All right, on to the next part. So again, guys, there's many different ways to do this. You don't have to do it this way, and don't laugh at me if you think it's stupid, but hey man, if it works, it ain't dumb, right? So let's see. I've got that clipped back on there now. You can see, and it looks like a much better angle. Before, you could tell that little cable was kind of binding up. So just make sure it looks like it's gonna have a good flow up and down. Now, so up on the inside here, that bracket that we cut off that clips onto there, I've got it on and got it where it needs to go. You go to the inside, make sure you're up into neutral. Let's do that. Yep, we're in neutral. So that means the transmission's in neutral and our shifter's in neutral, and that's where everything likes it and that's where it wants to be. So that bracket needs to stay exactly right there. I don't know how yours is, but if it's too far this way or in or out or something like that, you can look down and see. Mine's at the perfect angle right now. I love where it's at. I'm going to leave it just like that. Now, you can fab up your bracket any way you want to. This was an extra piece that came off this little bracket here. I went ahead and cut it off. It works great for what we need to do. We're going to bring it around, and where that thing sits where it's supposed to be, we're going to take this. It's going to go under it, and then that piece here is going to screw into our firewall nice and clean. We'll weld that in. We'll paint that bracket up. But yeah, that's going to, this piece right here, we'll throw a couple screws in it, screw that to the firewall, and that'll hold that thing for moving, and we'll be able to shift. All right, that little bracket, we got it welded up and painted up, and you can see it's right there, bolted into the firewall right here. And that little piece just slips right onto it, and it looks nice and stock. Look at that. And it comes right down, clips into that little thing. So now when you shift it up and down on the inside, it shifts through the transmission. We've already came in and checked it out. Everything seems pretty smooth, but everything works. So that's how I do it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that helped you out. If you're trying to figure out how to do your shifter, it's just a quick little freebie, you know, from the parts that you have from your Crown Vic. Didn't cost any money. We were able to make it work. So if you guys like that little tip, hit that like button. Hit that, if you didn't, hit that thumbs down button. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you on the next one.